How do you deal with hate? Accusations of racism, stereotyping, cultural appropriation, the list goes on. So this person is an army, and he made a comment on Twitter, I think, and whatever social media, and said that Suga Yoongi of BTS is a better rapper than somebody. I'm not going to name the person, but it is an African American rapper. Number one, if you know you didn't do anything wrong, these are all based on experience, by the way. I'm not an expert. I don't have any professional credentials, so you do need to consult a professional. But this is just based on my learnings from my past experiences and things that I learned from other people as well, those that I respect. Never apologize if you know you didn't do anything wrong. Never admit to being wrong if you're not. If you do not have any malicious intent, then don't apologize. And I do not consider a musical comment to be offensive. The way that you phrased it and the screen cap that you provided me, the way that you phrased it in your tweet, you were just saying, oh, he's a better rapper than blank. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see any racial tone in that. You didn't say Suga is a better rapper than African American rapper blank, right? You just said Suga is a better rapper than blank. So I don't think you should apologize. If for as long as you know you didn't do anything wrong. So you are going to give them the one thing they want you to be, and that is to be wrong when you're not. Next is don't be scared of labels. This is actually the only thing that this woke mob is holding over the heads of other people. The label of being racist, the label of being this and that, cultural appropriation and stereotypist and whatever, misogynist, or those are just labels. If you're not scared to be called all of that, then they have nothing against you. So if they call you racist, okay, that's for as long as you know you're not. So what does it matter? There's a quote from the Game of Thrones, my favorite character, Tyrion Lannister. Let them see that their words can cut you, and you'll never be free of the mockery. If they want to give you a name, take it, make it your own. Then they can't hurt you anymore. So if they want to call you a racist, okay. If they know that they can't hurt you with that, what else do they've got? Nothing. So don't be scared of labels. Don't mind being called this and that. For as long as you know that it's not true, that's all the power that you need. The power to know that they don't know anything about you. Third, and I know this is harder than it's going to sound, but try to look at it from a positive perspective. You were able to filter out your friends. Now you know that the people that you have been spending with, that you have held so important in your life, aren't really your friends. If you said in your letter that you've explained yourself to them, I think you didn't have to, but you've already explained yourself to them and they still didn't believe you, then they're not worth your time. Then they're not worth your effort, and they're not worth a space in your life. Okay? It does hurt that the people that you love are turning their backs on you. And it's okay to cry, it's okay to be disappointed, but at the end of it, 5-10 years from now, you're going to be thankful that these people who don't know how to understand you, who don't love you enough, are out of your life. Then you can make space for people that will actually be there and understand you. Next is that I will actually encourage you to continue speaking your mind, regardless of the kind of backlash or comment that you're going to get. There are two things that's going to happen. One is that you will attract a different kind of audience, and this is going to be the kind of audience that are more critical thinkers, are more that really support freedom of speech, that are willing to listen to reason. And that's actually a better audience, because once you start talking to them, you're actually talking with people who have sense of, have sense. They just have common sense. They have sense that they're more intelligent, and that's a better audience. Second is that for we can't be too sensitive that every little thing will cut us. For our society to progress, for people to grow, we do need to risk offending people. So let's make it more concrete. Right now, there are talks about women in sports. There is this, I think she's a Navy, a former Navy. So she's a trans woman. She was born a man, and then she spent like I don't know how many years in the Marine or Navy or something, and now she transitioned and is now competing in the women's division of MMA, so mixed martial arts, and it's brutal because that's still even though she's in hormone therapy and stuff, that's still the muscle structure, the bone structure, the DNA, that's still a man. And so when you look, it's so hard to watch. I literally cried watching one of the matches because it's just a man beating a woman up, and I to a certain extent I felt like, how did we get here? How can you allow this to happen? And of course there are discussions about this now. There of course are people that are supporting her for that, and there are people who are criticizing this, that they think that it shouldn't be allowed. And in every interview there will always be the risk of offending either. You might be offending people that are for it, and you might be offending people against it. But if you don't risk that, then we won't get to the right solution in all of this. If we're just going to not talk and just because we don't want to offend everybody, we're going to be stagnant as a society. We're not going to progress. Difficult problems will always involve difficult solutions, and it will always involve difficult discussions, and that will always involve the risk of offending people. So I would actually encourage you just to continue. Eventually, you will find the audience that's right for you, and you will develop a thicker skin, and you will become a better person, more progressive. You will learn more. Maybe in the future, you will realize, oh, okay, I really shouldn't have done that. Then when you know you're wrong, then you need to apologize. But if you don't, just continue doing what you're doing. Next is karma. This is very effective. If people are going to get what they give, that the energy that they give to the environment will be the energy that's going to go around, and that's going to go back to them. So know that you will be vindicated in some shape or form. You might not necessarily know how you're vindicated, but you will be vindicated if you know that you didn't do anything wrong. But as I've said in the beginning of this video, I am not an expert, and those are just my opinions. That's more an opinion rather than an advice. Don't take it as an advice. That's just opinion. You need to go to an expert. You need to talk to somebody about this, especially if it's affecting you gravely. But yeah, I hope I helped.